Good morning and welcome back to Thursday Morning with LindaZ, and I'm Debbie. Today we are going to be doing a quick project. We're going to be learning how to use these fast turn tools, fast turn, quick turn. I've got two different ones that I want to show you, and we'll be showing you how to use both of them. One's a little bit more expensive than the other, but it does have more options available to it. So just wanted to leave that aside. And then we're going to be featuring today the Janome HD9 machine. It's this beautiful machine right here. There is a sister machine that is very similar to it. They're straight stitch machines. These are industrial. Basically, you can use them at home, obviously, but they are industrial strength machines. They are gorgeous. There's a white version of this. There's a black version of this. And it's got a scissor cutter built in. You've got the thread tensions that are they're manual here on the outside, and you have a reverse button. You've got the vertical bobbin, so it's a full rotary turning bobbin that is vertical, and then your needles are specialized needles. They're the HLX5 needles. So I just wanted to go over a little bit of what comes with the machine. It has a soft cover, a dust cover that you can put on it. You have a knee lift lever, so you can be using your knee to lift up your presser foot and to lower the feed dogs while you are sewing. So that's a wonderful feature also, and it's adjustable, so you can move it closer or farther away from your machine depending on what table your machine is sitting into. So that's always a very nice feature to have on a machine if you're not used to that. So you can see how it releases the presser foot here and lowers those feed dogs for you, and that's just really great. There are 8 ball bearings in this machine. That's a little bit more technical than I usually go on machines, but it's a great strength machine. The bobbin, there's an independent bobbin winder inside the machine. It comes with 2 screwdrivers, 1 screwdriver for removing the presser feet and 1 for removing the needles. You've got 5 bobbins, so they're metal bobbins. They are, I've been told they're almost one and a half times larger than the other industrial straight stitch machines out there. So this is great to have a little bit more thread on your bobbin than you would normally have that on another machine. We have a thread guide that comes with this machine, and it is an adjustable thread guide. So you can attach that to the base of the machine like so, and screw that into either of those holes that are there. And so you can get your stitch your seam allowance perfect on the machine using that guide. That's really great. It has a rolled hem foot also that comes with the machine. You've got a brush to clean it out, and then it also has a stylus on the other end, which is great. A spool cap and thread spool holder. You do have an extra set of needles, a thread net for those sometimes difficult threads to use, and then you've got some oil. Because this is a industrial strength machine, you will be needing to oil it occasionally, and that will come in the manual. So this is a cute little box to put all these accessories in, so that also comes with the machine. And your foot control, I can go ahead and show you what that one looks like. It's a relatively large foot control, so that's great too, to be able to go ahead and go to town on your stitching. The speed of the machine is 1,600 stitches per minute, so you can really go fast on it. There is an adjustable speed dial also, which is great. What else did I want to say about that? There are memorized speed up and down. Let me just, because I know I've got some other things. Oh, so you've got an extra presser foot height lifter. So if you've got thicker projects, that's really great to be able to lift that up higher. A great machine for that. So you're on this knob here, you can adjust the presser foot pressure, and you can go up to 11 pounds of pressure in that presser foot. So I think that's really great. And that there's an indicator on the front that tells you how light or how heavy or how light your presser foot pressure is on the machine. Over on the right-hand side, you have a button that tells you your stitch length, and then there's an indicator right in front there. So none of this is computerized, right? This is all a manual machine. So that's, going back to those machines that never die. These are great machines. And you can go up to 6 millimeters on that. So that's a really long basting stitch that you can go up to on this machine. So that's also a really great feature of this machine. So I'm sure I'm missing a couple items, but I think I've gone over a lot of that. Why don't we go to town over here on this side? So these tools that I have here, the fast turn one, for example, if in the packaging, I would suggest keeping the packaging once you do get one, because it does tell you which fast turn tube. So there's 6 different tubes, and there are different circumferences of tubes, and that they would be ideal for different widths of fabric, and so different widths of stripping that you're going to be creating. And so basically, I have a 1 1/4 inch. Actually, it's 1.5, I think. Yeah, 1.5 inch strips. So it says over here, 1.5 inch strips. I need to use the tube number 3, and the cylinder of that tube is 1/4 inch. So my third one is right here. So I'll be using this tube for this. And then on the quick turn, which is so they're metal. They're metal, these fast turns. And then so you've got 6 tubes, and you've got 3 of these inserts that go inside the tube to pull the strip through, and you get to see that in action in a moment. I just wanted to show you that. And then this other quick turn, which they are plastic with wooden tools that you are going to push down the center of the tube. So the same purpose. We're creating these strips. This is one of them I created earlier, just to practice. You can see it's perfectly turned out from the inside out, and I tried both of the tools, so I made 2 of them, one using each one as a trial before I started here. This particular one we are going to be pushing through when we are going to turn the right sides out of the strapping. Okay, so there are 3 sizes, 3 circumferences for this one. So the process to do it is a little bit different depending on the product you have, but the end product is the same. So why don't we go ahead and sew our strips. So we've got our strips. Depending on how long you're strapping, I mean, you can use strapping for your zipper tags, your pulls, garments, right? You can use it as spaghetti straps for, or any kind of, if the wider you have straps, you can use them for straps for bags, right, that you're creating. I know that Jane, one of our teachers, was using this technique on one of the bag of the month classes that we have going at the store, and people were buying this up because it makes that flipping around of the strapping so much easier to use these tools. Okay, so let's go over with our one strap to the machine, and we're going to be putting the right sides together, hot dog style, as they say, the length of the strip, and we're going to stitch down at 1/4 inch seam allowance for this. And I do know that, I think it's marked on there, so it's right close to the edge of my foot that's on the machine, my 1/4 inch seam allowance marking. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch away here, and you will get to see how fast this machine can go in a moment. It's going to outbeat me because it's going to be way faster than I can go. So you can see I haven't even pushed halfway to the speed. I mean, see, it outsews me. So it's really, really fast. So any of you Speedy Gonzalez's out there would love this machine. I particularly like to go slow. But and I've set the stitch length at 2 to keep it a tight stitch length. And then when I get down here, I'm going to put my needle down, and I'm going to sew off at a point. Actually, I'm going to back up and do that again. I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to go in to see how quickly that cut, and I'm going to use that as my seam guide and go in 1/4 inch, do that same thing again, so that I know I'm not just sticking a point out there at the end of the tube. Okay, so scissor cut, and so I'm just going to go over with my rotary cutter on my mat here and trim where I did that first stitch at an angle. So I've got my tube ready to go. My right sides were together, and so this is my inside out, and I want to be able to pull it the other way out quickly. And so why don't we try this one first, the metal one. So there are colored tubes, round plastic color I don't know what you would call that. So I'm going to put it in on the opposite side of that. And this is the size number 3. So I'm just putting this all the way into the tube of my fabric to the end where I stitched off the end. Okay, and so I'm going to take one of these wire, what do they call them on the packaging? They call them the fast turn cylinders. So they want me to insert one of these in, all the way in, and they want me to penetrate through through the fabric and then twist it to the right so that the pigtail actually comes out. And I'm sorry you can't see that. Maybe you could see it over here at the machine camera. So I twisted to the right once, and the pigtail. Okay, so the pigtail is sticking out. So I just twisted it to the right. First, it's a very pointy end, so that just went straight through. Twisted it one circumference to the right, and then my pigtail showed up on the outside of my point. And now I'm going to be pulling this through the tube. Just need to get the metal pigtail over the ridge of the tube. And then it's just as easy as this, pulling it, pulling it, pulling it. And then once I have, they don't want it to go too fast. So you see that it's here and it's out the other end. And I can show you over on this camera easily also. So I'm pulling it through, and there's still a little bit here on the other end, but I keep pulling it, pulling it, pulling it. And so I am done, and I pulled it through. And normally this pigtail would still be at the end, and you're supposed to then turn it to the left to remove the pigtail. Okay, so that was as easy as that on that one. So I've got mine, and then you'd go ahead and finger press the seam flat and go to your iron and then press that as well. So that's how that one worked. And then you can, I'll just do a second. Actually, I've got a second one already in this printed fabric. So I can show you how I did that using so there are 3 tubes. I'm using the middle range tube for the, okay, so I've got this printed one that I made earlier. And so I'm putting in the middle quick turn tube, and I'm sliding all the way to the end. This one's a little bit tighter, but it's okay. And so I bring that all the way to the end, and then I'm going to take the rounded end of the tube, and I'm going to start pushing that through to the other side. So as I push, it's going through to the other side, and now it's at the other side, turned right sides out, and I can just pull that through, and I've pulled it through, and look how fast that was. And then I just remove, you can use that as a point turner as well and get your point really done well as you push through that point, the right side's out, and then you remove that wooden rod. And same thing, we will finger press the seams flat, and then we would eventually go to the iron to just press that flat. And so there you have it, all these different ones. So I would imagine this very small, very thin one would be perfect for silks or for very lightweight fabrics. I'm not sure I would want to have, I mean, we could try, but a cotton fabric might be a little bit harder. So it's probably for organzas or silks or something that you are needing a very, very thin tube for. So it's really nice to go all the way up to this. They're saying it is 3/4 of an inch cylinder diameter. So that's pretty nice to have, because that works very quickly then at that point. So again, you would put your tube all the way through, insert this fast turn pigtail end, jab the point through the end that's sewn shut, and then turn it to the right to make sure that the pigtail curve goes through the fabric, and then you slowly pull it out, and it's slowly but surely going to come all the way through, and then your project is turned from the right side out. So there you have it. And I hope you have a wonderful Thursday and that you come into LindaZ's for your sewing needs. And we'll see you soon at LindaZ's. Bye.